How's it going, guys? We're back. This is Down Under Diaries. Yeah, this is Ronnie, Anshul, and we're going to talk about highest paying jobs in Adelaide that you can get as an international student.
Yeah, and not just highest paying jobs, but casual jobs.
Yeah, definitely casual jobs, because casual jobs actually pay more than part-time or full-time jobs here.
So we'll be talking about primarily 7 jobs today, which I've seen a lot of friends do. So we have a good network and we have friends in each and every job. We'll get into the first. We'll go from the bottom of the hierarchy.
Yeah.
So the first is a security job. Everybody needs a security guard. If you're going out clubbing at night, every nightclub, every pub has a security guard.
Even
outside. Even restaurants. Because Friday, Saturday night, it's very hectic. And not even Friday, Saturday nights. If I'm talking about hospitals, they have 24/7 security guards on their emergency room.
A lot of accommodations also have 24-hour security.
Yeah. So for you to get a security job, because it's high paying, so it generally starts around, like every other job, it starts around 28 to 32 during the weekdays.
Yeah.
But you have security guards have different pay rates, maybe after 6 p.m., after 8 p.m. So all of those loadings keeps getting added on.
So if you're working casually as a security guard, I believe, so in Sky City, which is a very big corporation, which handles the casino, which is a very big company here, they pay their security guards up in that rate according to your age. So it's from 28 to 32, as you said, and then you get 125% casual loading on that.
Yeah.
So you get 25% more just because you're working as a casual worker. But if you were working as a part-time or full-time, you wouldn't be getting that. But you will be getting other benefits.
Yeah. And during weekends, on Sundays, it gets doubled.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about hypothetically 28, that becomes 56.
Yeah, that's
on
200%.
On Saturdays, it becomes 150%. And different agencies have different contracts. So we're just talking from experience.
Yeah.
For you to get a security job, you'll have to get a certificate 2, which is a security license, and that will cost you around $1,000 to $1,100 depending on where you're getting the certificate from. And for you to give the test, it will cost you around $500 to $600. So we're looking at a ballpark of around $1,500 to $1,600 just to get your license. Generally, the people that I've talked to who are doing security jobs, they say that those $1,500 to $1,600, you recover that in the first 2 to 3 weeks that you're working.
Basically.
So that is just the opportunity cost that you're looking at. Do you want to put in $1,500 to $1,600 on a license for security jobs while you're studying, and then recover that in the first 2 to 3 weeks by doing night shifts, by doing morning shifts?
Yeah, you get paid a lot on night shifts.
So it's individualistic, depends on your schedule.
So then there are construction jobs. Construction jobs are paid, I believe, even higher than security jobs in a lot of cases. In some agencies.
But with the research that I did, there are certain distinctive agencies in Adelaide which pay more in comparison to construction jobs, because construction jobs all the construction takes place early morning to the afternoon.
Yeah.
So if you're doing a construction job, you'll probably get free at around 2 to 3 p.m. at max, but you'll be starting at 5 a.m.
Yeah,
you'll be starting at 6 a.m.
Yeah. And a lot of times these construction places are not close to the city. So oftentimes the employers actually prefer that you have a truck or something so you can travel to these places.
Yeah.
And to get this job, you will need a white card, and that can cost you up to $150 to $200.
Yeah.
Depends on which state you're in, I believe.
Yeah. And one thing about this that's very physically...
Yes. It's a very physical job.
It's very physically demanding because as the job suggests, construction job. So here I've personally seen that work happens pretty quickly. Like I came here in January 2022 and the building that was just getting started is about to finish in a year. I personally didn't see that in Delhi, where I'm from. So a lot of people are needed around the clock. People are working around the clock.
Yeah.
So it's very physically demanding. Transportation might be a little tricky if you're starting at 5 or 6 a.m. because the public transport in Adelaide is a little in comparison to Sydney or Melbourne.
Yeah.
But then if you have a car, it isn't that much of an investment. If I can save $150 to $200, and if you're up for the physically demanding job.
Yeah.
And yeah, next
Right,
would be
moving
on number 5 is a forklift operator. So just before talking about this, you'll need an Australian driving license and a forklift license.
Yeah.
So the prerequisites of getting this job is
They're
a little
already
tricky.
very high. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and for you to get a forklift license, it'll cost you anywhere around $1,500 to $1,600, and it's a 1 month training as well. But once you get it, it's a pretty high paying job, not very physically demanding. Everybody needs forklift operators. Even Adelaide Oval needs forklift operators. Every construction,
Even convention center.
yeah,
Yeah. Everybody. Because-
anybody who's delivering stock
Yeah.
to even convenience stores,
Yeah.
they need forklifts. So pretty high demanding,
Yeah.
but it's just that the prerequisites are a little too much.
It's obviously dangerous.
Yeah.
There is obviously a danger, working as a forklift operator, because obviously things can go wrong. I'm not saying that things will go wrong, but things can definitely go wrong. You might end up getting hurt because because a forklift lifts very heavy things. They sometimes can fall. Accidents obviously happen.
Yeah.
So just keep in mind that there is a higher chance that you might get hurt. Yeah.
But a question might pop up in your mind that, oh, where do I get these licenses from? Like we talked about the white card, we talked about the security license. There are a lot of institutions here who provide these sort of courses for you, and it's pretty. Some provide half and half. So half you can do online, half you can
Half
do
you have to-
practical.
yeah.
Not a forklift license, obviously, but something like security license.
Yeah.
I've heard people who can do half of it online and half of it practical.
I believe even whitecard is half online, and like you can do the test online,
Yeah, okay.
and then whatever happens, you have to like go and get it.
Okay.
Yeah. Right,
Next
moving
one?
on. Yeah.
So the next one is a hotel receptionist.
Yes.
This-
I wouldn't. So, being a hotel receptionist in general is very hard because that's the hierarchy. Like to work at the front desk, you need to go through a lot of things.
Okay.
So, yes, you may get paid as a hotel receptionist. You get paid for casuals. I believe it is 29
Okay.
to 35.
On a normal weekday.
Yes, depends what your age is. Like for example, I would get paid 29 for a hotel receptionist because that is a level 3.
Yeah.
Right, so I'll get paid 29 to 30. However, if let's say I'm 20. If you're 23 or you're 24, you would get paid more because that's how the system here is. It's very it's very thoughtful of the workers, and depending on what your age is, you'll get paid higher. But getting to that stage is a bit tough because you have to work your way up to the front desk. But you can apply for these jobs very easily.
Yeah.
You can just walk in and even apply online mostly.
But if you're talking about somebody who's from a hospitality background,
Yeah.
who's already done his or her bachelor's where they're from,
Yeah.
they must have about 2 to 3 years of experience as well.
Yeah.
So all of that does get counted.
Yes. So if you're in a situation that Anshul mentioned, you wouldn't be paid casually, you would be paid part-time or full-time even.
Yeah.
Because I have a friend who works as a duty manager here.
Okay.
And he gets paid a good sum amount. Yeah, because obviously he has experience in the Oberoi's and in the Taj Group back in India. So.
And when we talk about hotel receptionists, we're not just talking about the big chains like IHG, Crown Plaza, Pullman,
Marriott.
anything. Everybody, most of the student accommodations also need a concierge.
Yeah.
Most of them need receptionists, so they are pretty high paying as well.
Yeah. So there are a lot of apartment buildings here as well which need, receptionist services.
Yeah. So coming on to the third one in the list, bartending or a barista.
Yeah.
So both of us are working as a bartender,
Yeah.
and
I have barista training as well.
he has barista training as well.
Yeah.
And for you to get a bartending or a barista job, you have to have a barista certificate
Yeah.
and an RSA, which is the responsible service of alcohol.
Yeah.
And every state has a different
Yeah,
RSA.
all of them have a different prerequisite of how you can get into a job where you sell alcohol.
And to get an RSA, it's pretty cheap actually. You can get an RSA for $18.
14 actually.
$14?
Yeah, I got it for 14.
So It's more about, so most of the people I've seen here come and get an RSA, but it takes more than just an RSA to get a job.
Yeah.
This is where personality comes in.
Yes.
Because it's dependent on how you get the slang, on how you perceive the accent, on how you interpret the other person is talking.
And I think as a bartender, it is a job where you have to talk to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that is, it obviously links back to RSA. You have to gauge if the person is drunk or not. So you have to have a little, you have to be articulate enough to hold a conversation with them. So for that, you obviously need to have a certain kind of personality, so you can.
And you need
get
to
the
know
job.
some spirits as well. You need
Definitely.
to know your way around a club. If you're working in a club, I see 10 people in a line, and I don't get what the first person has said because it's in an accent which I couldn't understand.
Yeah.
That can't be happening because 9 people behind him or her
Are waiting. Yes.
So you have to take the order.
And the bar is a very quick-paced environment. You have to be very quick.
And to some extent, you have to be passionate about it.
Definitely. When you're getting an RSA, just make sure it is an accredited.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an accredited certificate. I'll put the logo somewhere.
We'll put a list. We'll put a link.
Yeah, we'll put
where
the link.
The organizations are mentioned. On the second one, which will be a truck driver.
I have no knowledge about this.
You don't have any knowledge.
No.
So, for you to become a truck driver, you will have to have a truck license. And from the people that I've talked to who are acquaintances who are truck drivers, if you're driving a truck which is under 3 ton, you can drive it on your Australian driving license. You can't drive it on your international DL. You'll have to get an Australian DL. And when you start driving a truck which is more than 3 ton, you have to have an Australian DL and an HR license.
An HR license.
HR license.
Okay.
So
Is that a different kind of license? Do you have to pay more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And they get paid a lot because
I've heard a lot.
So there are different kinds of trips that you can make as a truck driver. You can drive intercity. So for example, go to the warehouse, pick up stock for institutions like Woolworths, Kohl's, Kmart, Adidas, Rebel. Everybody needs
Or even
stock.
Amazon.
Even Amazon. Even convenience stores.
Yeah.
And then you go into the city and you deliver all of these things to them. And it's mostly in the morning. And then there comes another type of trip which is interstate. So you're driving overnight from Adelaide to Melbourne maybe.
Yeah.
Or Adelaide to Sydney even. That might take you around 2 to 3 days. And the pay rate is somewhere around 65 to 70 per hour. So
that's if that trip takes you 3 days, you get paid for the 3 days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Okay.
But
I want to drive a truck now.
And then the first and the most highly paying job. This was a shock to me when I was doing my research. It's a uni representative. So, for example, you're representing your university, maybe in your marketing team, maybe your events team, maybe culture team, maybe international students team, and you're representing your university during orientation. You're representing your university during marketing outreach campaigns. It pays you anywhere around $32 to $34 on a normal weekday.
That's not bad.
That's really not bad. And sometimes, if it's a big university, I've heard. I was talking to a person who's from Victoria University, and they said that they get paid 42 to 43.
Wow.
And if it's a 9 to 5 in your uni,
yeah.
and if you're working in your uni and you're performing well, you have a good rapport with your seniors.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for you to get a full-time job at your uni.
Yeah, prior to your studies, definitely.
And when we talk about uni representatives, we talk about tutoring and mentoring as well. So not just representing your uni, but maybe if you've already done a subject and you've got an HT or a D, maybe they're looking for volunteers, maybe they're looking for mentors, maybe they're looking for tutors in the same
uni
subject.
mentors, I believe, right? But I don't think uni mentors in University of Adelaide get paid.
Might be different in different universities.
Yeah.
But be in touch with whoever your senior is.
Yeah. Your teachers, especially.
Your
have a good relationship with them if you're trying to go down that path.
And if you're doing certain degrees like environmental health or medical or biology, a lot of professors require assistant professors
Yes,
as well.
assistants. Yeah.
So you're working in your own industry, you're working with your own professor, and you're getting paid a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't see any cons in it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was about it.
That was about it.
I hope all of this helps you out a lot.
Yes.
And if you have any questions, please shoot through in the comments.
Yeah.
We'll be happy to answer them.
We'll answer them. Just write all them down. We'll answer them. Don't
Yeah.
worry. We got all your answers.
Yeah. And we'll put the helpful links in the description.
Yes.
So be sure to check them out.
Right.
And like
Like
share
and subscribe.
because
Thanks
it
for
keeps us
watching.
going.
Yes.
It keeps us going. We've been getting a lot of comments to make certain videos, and that helps us out a lot because we know that the audience is engaging.
Yeah.
So
Right.